Okie dokie. This is TirasJ. I'm going to show you guys how I made HBCU Type Beat. I'm going to try to do it fast because I did it earlier and it took 17 minutes. So let's do the thing quickly. So I got this sample from Splice. Yeah, so I really liked that swell, but that was like way too fast of a sample for me to normally use on something that I would make. So I slowed it down and pitched it down as I do, and this is the main sample group 2 here. So this is what it sounds like, and I have it panned 5 left, 5 right. The right side has the higher pitches. You can see that on the C6 here. It's kind of weird looking, but this is it anyway. And then the left side has the lower end. And there's that. So yeah, it's a relatively regular thing. I don't know, I have a turned off EQ8, but I got a compressor, soft snare compressor, C6, and reverb on the group, and then they have their own individual versions of those things. A chorus and a vitamin. I don't know exactly how vitamin works or what it does, but I like it because I'll show you. I think I'm on this one. If I turn the vitamin off, it's not as exciting. I don't know if it's an exciter, but I like it. Okay, so that's the main sample. This is the main drum loop. This is my drum group. The drum group has also a compressor, drum bus. Don't know exactly what it is or what it is doing, but it makes it sound better to me. So I throw it on most drum tracks that I use. But yeah, if I turn it off, it's not as punchy. It doesn't hit like it sounds very almost like flat or mono, which, you know, if I wanted it to sound that way, I'd turn it off. But anyway, I like the drum bus. Soft snare compressor, I put that on most drums, I think. EQ8 and a little reverb. This loop has its own EQ8. And I have the secondary drum loop that also has its own. Wait, no, this one doesn't have anything. It's just using the regular loop chain. But yeah, so if I turn on both at the same time, you get the idea. This is the whistle at the beginning that I added probably last to try to give it the real HBCU Type Beat song vibe, like Morris Brown and Halftime. Those both start with that whistle. So I just threw one on to make it really sink in. Up here is this is where I chopped the kicks from the drum loop for the beginning.
Now I'm high again in Block 37. Seeing stranger things, anxiety is
this
on
is the
11.
vocal.
Singing strange things keep happening to me. I'm made of metal. It's a band thing on my amps go
And this
to
is my
11.
whole vocal
Getting bands, G might mess
processing
around and fix
type
my
thing.
credit.
So I'll go from the end backwards
Like no Devis. This ain't brandy.
without
I'm
reverb. You
very
know,
special.
it doesn't sound as
Out of hand, and we just bought another setup.
roomy, I guess. It sounds very
Ain't
like cut and
granted
dry.
as I thought it was, but that
I mean, I feel like reverb sounds very obvious. Delay is just like a little ping pong going there.
Conclusions off inaccuracies, they judge
CLA is the most sensical compressor to me, because there's two knobs that I use. One I can increase the gain, one I can reduce it. They're cut and dry. I like the CLA because I understand it. For the most part. C6 is a lot, but I like it. For the most part, it makes a lot of sense to me. And it's a useful tool. You can do stuff like singling out the individual, mid, low, high. When I'm told to kick the devil off my shoulder, might be caught up in. And I use that a lot when I go in and sort of pick out parts of the vocal that if there's like a weird noise that I don't like, I can go in there and get rid of it. I try to anyway. And this one is a noise suppressor. I think it helps because I recorded this in an old apartment, but there was a lot of noise. Like, I'm not in a studio, so I definitely think I need a noise suppressor. And a de-esser. Male S.
Wow, it's getting wordy. Schmack got smacked up dirty. Shirley said they monsters word to wormy. Hit the sack, wake up to.
And this is the part where I go back and forth with Siri.
Surgeon told my phone, do not disturb him.
Siri said,
speak in first person. Bet you lost them before wording.
Bet you're on yo by my churches.
It's your money, though. You earned it.
My girl asked me if she's skinny. I told her, you perfect.
Siri, I heard her on vocal track,
before wording.
And she has.
It's your money, though. You earned it.
This is just my rap vocal preset. I just threw it on top of her because she knows what she's doing. She doesn't need a whole lot of work. This is the ad-lib track.
30.
It's kind of weird.
Made a metal. These go 211.
That's one of my favorites. My favorite ad-lib is right here. Anyway, this is the drumline section, which is, in my humble opinion, the crown jewel of the whole song. But I have it arranged so that it's set up like a drum line, like how we would arrange ourselves for marching band practice. So like I have the bass drum in the center, and these drums remind me of Black Skinhead. And I also have the cymbals in the center. This is a better example of those is right here. These are like a stationary snare. There's not a whole lot on the individual tracks because they're all in the same group and they have a bunch of stuff on them. The cymbal has a gate, reverb. One of the cymbals has a gate. One has a reverb. The reverbs are different. This just has glue compression, EQ8. If I turn those off. I don't have the knowledge to tell you the difference between the sounds, but I just know which one sounds better to me. Kicks just have there's not even kicks. They might be kicks. They're supposed to be like bass drums, like like one of those. But they just have a glue compressor, EQ8. I think these are the second set of tenors. Yeah, so these go back and forth with these tenors. They go. And those just add on to those when they play at the same time. So I have these tenors sort of offset to the right, 4 to the right, 9 to the right. So it's like there's 2 tenor players and they're beside each other, sort of off to the right, getting further from the middle line where the bass drum and cymbals are. Then these ones are 14 to the right because they're sort of way out and accenting, not way out, but you know, a little bit more out than 9. The numbers aren't real measurements. They're just sort of what sounded right when I was arranging it. And so then I have the snare to these main like fast 16th note type of triplet snare. Those are triplets. I think the next bits are the 16th note snares. So yeah, these just have a drum bus, and they go back and forth with these tenors. Also, actually, they go back and forth with these ones and split. And it all really sort of comes together. But the snares are off to the left. These are 14 to the left. This other main snare is only 10 to the left. And of course, they're not like pan, like you're gonna hear them on both ears, but it's just so that it's arranged as if there's multiple players, like bass drums in the middle, literally, snares over here, growing out this way, tenors over here, growing out this way, because that's how we arranged it when I was in marching band, and I wanted that. But sir, don't talk to him. But anyway, yeah, you put them all together and then at the end I really, just sort of doubled up on some stuff, changed the cymbal pattern really. Yeah, they're all like just splice samples of, and I just found I found like one drum line, which is why they all have the same name. They're all from the same sample pack. And I arranged them to make a drum cadence. And this is the main sort of plug-in chain, effect chain, drum bus. It's on medium. If I turn that down, it gets very it's a lot clearer, but I wanted it delay, a little reverb. Note the reverb is on 11 because it goes to 11. It's really getting in there. But yeah, that's the whole thing. It's a lot, and the mixing process for the whole thing was, I forgot the 808. This is the 808. It's very simplistic. How's your cutting into the 808? That's the cat's not in he's not in the song. And yeah, this just has a glue compressor, and it has this max bass plugin from Waves that I like a lot. Because it starts like this, where this is all the way down. This is what it sounds like without this. Actually, I could have just done this. That's what it sounds like by itself. This is what it adds. And this is them put together with whatever output. Anyway, mixing them all together, like the whole song, was difficult. And so you see the levels are sort of all over the place. I don't know if we could see that better in this representation. Hang on.
Your investment in the better.
Yeah, you can see it a lot better now.
Times over, all these other rappers hopeless, and I'm down to help a broke by the power that is vested. I'm converting it to solar. Photosynthesize my synthesizer since it's set to polar. How I criticize myself, I'm certain.
Yeah, that's how you make a HBCU Type Beat, which is, it's named that because that's what I named the beat when I made the beat in the first place.